Well, hello there. Good to see you today. Today we have a really interesting brand new drone from a brand new company, which we don't see very often. Now, this is the Specta Air drone, and the company is called Cogito. Now, if you're a new company offering a brand new drone, typically you either start with like a small little drone with no stabilization, maybe no gimbal on the camera, things like that. Or you start out and you swing for the fences and drop an impressive drone as your first one straight out of the gate with all the bells and whistles, and then see if you can take the market by surprise. In this case, Cogito swung for the fences with one of the most modern drones with fantastic functionality and knocked it out of the park with the Specta Air. Now, it is interesting that this does look like someone else's fence in someone else's park, and it might look a tad bit similar to the DJI Air 3, but this is a conversation we're going to delve in a little bit later. And since there are so many options and functions on this drone, let's just go through a quick overview of what the specs are to give you some context what we're looking at. And of course, in the meantime, if you want to know the nitty-gritty of all the specs, I'll leave a link below so you can go check those out after you're done with this video. So first, this is a 720 gram drone. So this is a big fella. It's definitely going to need registration and remote ID. Now, one good thing is that this does come with standard remote ID built in. This is really on the FAA's Declaration of Compliance page. Of course, it does have all the required items like we would always expect, and that is brushless motors, SD card storage, GPS, return to home, a full 3-axis gimbal. It actually has two separate cameras that are 1 over 1.3 inch CMOS sensors. And one camera is a wide angle with a 24mm equivalent, and the second is a medium telephoto with 70mm equivalent focal lengths. The specs on the video are pretty awesome, and this has two different zooms, 1 to 3 on the one camera and 3 to 9 times on the second camera. Also has obstacle avoidance built in. The battery life then, it says, is 46-minute flight time. States that the transmission distance is 20 kilometers or 12.5 miles. This package also comes with a smart remote with a 5.5-inch display with a 700 nits brightness, and it has multiple types of active track and focus track. Has quick shots, meaning the droney, rocket, circle, helix, boomerang, and asteroid, 4 types of hyperlapse, 3 types of panoramic shots, master shots, waypoint modes, night video mode, and a speed of up to 47 miles per hour. And as I always say, this is really impressive for the price on paper, but it doesn't mean a darn thing if it flies like crap or the video is all grainy or junky. So let's take it up and run through its paces, shall we? Now, we're not supposed to have to do the calibration on this, so we're not going to do it today and see how that goes. Oh, it is a cold one out here though, I tell you. We can start this by taking the sticks down and in, or we can do the takeoff here. Now, I'm going to do the automated takeoff just to see what it does.
Takeoff. Home point updated.
Well, of course, the hover on this thing is fantastic. I mean, it is sitting right there. We do have a wind, maybe 5 or 8 miles an hour or so. So this thing is just right there now. I do want to try it in auto mode just to give us a good basis for comparison so you know what it looks like straight out of the camera. And I've turned the obstacle avoidance off. I'm not going to need it right here. I'll test that in a little bit, but just at least we can make that beeping stop while we're trying to do some testing here. All right, so let's go up, take a few flights, see what the video looks like here. We'll do some range tests, some of the tests, and then see what happens. Let's do it. This thing is nice and speedy. It's moving right along here. It really is. Very nice indeed. Gimbal roll is really nice, of course. Nice and smooth. We always like that. I'm going to back up and try to do a manual orbit. That just lets us know if the controls are decent or if they're laggy or anything like that. So let's go ahead and see if we can do an orbit here. The controls are really smooth, very well set up. Really easy to do an orbit here, so if you like doing manual orbits like I do, this will make you look good because it is quite nice. And as long as we're this far, let's check out the zoom here and see what happens. Now, the first camera is active when we are on the 1X, so we are on it right now. And there's that little fire pit. Looks like a nice zoom to me here. We'll see if that goes to the camera or not, or the SD card. There's our 9X zoom. So here's our normal 3 to 9X zoom. Now, You tell me what that looks like, if that zoom is pretty decent, but looks pretty good to me. I want to go ahead and do a distance test here. We have a farm that's right here, so we can go over that without having a problem. So let's go ahead and head for the farm. So this is far enough for me. I'm going to turn around and come back, but you can see that I still have a very good control. There is no breakup whatsoever. It's very clean. And as long as we're right here, let's also make sure we do a horizon tilt here to make sure that we don't have any gimbal tilt or anything goofy going on like that. Seems pretty good to me. I don't see anything obvious here that's problematic. So I think they've done a good job making sure that that gimbal is nice and stable. So everybody always wants to do a circle just to see what a circle looks like. Put us in the center here. There we go.
2, 1.
There it goes around us here. Real nice and quick. No problem with a quick shot. And it's keeping us right in the center pretty decent here. Let's go ahead and do an asteroid right away. And let's give that a start.
2, 1.
And the recording is started. So I'm going to go ahead and play that back so you can see what that whole sequence looks like. But gotta say, it's pretty impressive. Okay, so let's go ahead and double check a bypass mode on the obstacle avoidance here. Let's go ahead and try that again. Let's go ahead and do this track here and see what that does for us. Let's go back here a little bit, make sure we're not going to hit anything. And find us here. See what that does to us. We'll take a little walk here in the parking lot, see how it follows us. And it is sitting really nice up in the sky here. It's keeping us really nice in the center. So really quite nice, obviously. It's doing a really good job keeping me in the center of the screen here, and the drone is rotating to keep me right smack in the center as I'm going. So it's doing a really nice job adjusting the gimbal and everything. Shadow that just went by us here got us right in the sun, right in my eyeballs there. Let's go ahead and stop this. And before I forget, if you want to see an in-depth review of this drone with more detail and more of a tutorial on everything that it has to offer, let me know in the comments, and then make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss it if it comes up, if I get enough feedback that we want to do it.
Battery level is low.
Oh good, the battery level is low.
Will return to the home point in 10 seconds.
We are getting an automated return to home. I want to see first, of course, where it lands, how close the precision landing is, but also I want to check the battery life, and of course I'll make sure that I put that up here so that you can know what it is. So
Critically low voltage.
So really, it doesn't get any better than this landing in the center of the pad like this. Fantastic. So let's take it back to the studio and I'll give you my final thoughts, what comes in the box, pricing, and maybe a little bit about elephants. So welcome back to the studio. It was a really good flyer for sure, but let's go through the things they got right and things they might be able to get a little bit better. First, overall, this is a versatile and very functional drone. There's a multitude of modes available, including obstacle avoidance, quick shots, master shots, active track, waypoints. You'd be hard-pressed to find a drone with more standard items. Next, the stability is fantastic. GPS precision is very good. It's a good flyer. And the landing test hit the center of the pad, one of the best that we've had. Next, the long flight distance spec is excellent. We didn't have any connectivity issues. We didn't have any breakup of our FPV within visual line of sight, so first rate. Next, there's multiple cameras available, and the video quality available is excellent. And there are things I think they could do better. And first, it does have geofencing built into this drone. Now, I'm not a fan of the geo zones in the first place, but according to Cogito technical support, these cannot even be unlocked yet. So if you're flying in an area that they consider a geo zone, even if you have your Part 107 and LANCE approval, you are out of luck. Will they have it available at some time in the future? I would think so, probably. But not having a date and a process already in place at a release, that's a problem. Next, there isn't any spare parts available yet for the Specta Air on the website, and that is because their website simply isn't available at the time of this video, and they're saying it should be available maybe the end of March of 2024. Now, even though many of the DJI Air 3 parts will work on this drone, some will not, including the battery, and I did try it, and it powered on. I thought it was going to work, but before you take off, there is an error that shows that it is not a Cogito battery, and it won't launch. Next, the remote brightness is just too dim for my liking. I'm kind of spoiled with the tablet that I've had that has about 2,000 nits of brightness, so I think it could be a little bit brighter. So the kit that I have here in front of me is the only kit that's available right now, and it is only available on Amazon. I'm assuming at some point it will be available on their website as well. It does have this display type RC, the drone, one battery, power cable, instructions, and one set of props with 2 spares. Right now, it's selling for $11.99. That's not bad for this kit. And of course, I'll leave a link in the description so you can go find this and check out more details. All that being said, this is a decent drone for sure. But I'd be amiss if I didn't talk about Cogito and that this specific drone does look an awful lot like a DJI Air 3. And you know how I roll? I like to get information firsthand directly from the source rather than guessing. So first I reached out directly to DJI and asked them if this was some division or offshoot of DJI, and they said, quote, checking the product, the Specta Air is not a DJI product, though agreed it does look the same. We do suggest that you purchase the product directly from the DJI store to guarantee the product quality. Fair enough. I also reached out directly to Cogito multiple times to ask about their business model and things like warranty and repair and any possible affiliation with DJI, and they stated, and I quote, firstly, we are a new and innovative Hong Kong-based startup company working on innovative products such as consumer-grade robots. Our pre-production products include drones and unmanned vehicles, among others. There is no relationship whatsoever with DJI. The quality and price will be more favorable with Cogito. Secondly, we are building our official website, which is cogitotex.com, for parts and service. The battery and the propellers are already in stock and are expected to be available for purchase at the end of March. Thirdly, after-sales information can consult after-sales at cogitotex.com, and we will respond within 24 hours. As a side note, I did reach out to this technical support email with questions multiple times, and I did receive responses within the next day. Also from Cogito, I was directed to visit Cogito's policies on Amazon, showing that there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, a return for undamaged products within 30 days of purchase for a full refund, and a 12-month warranty for quality-related issues, meaning within 12 months of the date of purchase, we take care of all quality-related issues with a replacement or free repair. So I am not sure of more details on Cogito's business model, but if it results in more choices in drones and the quality, prices, and support are good, it's simply a win for the consumer, so I'm all for that. And on a personal note, as a drone consumer, if I could have one piece of advice for Cogito, I would say stand apart with excellent service and support. Consumers as myself will accept a lot of hiccups as long as we get a prompt, favorable response to our frustrations. A lot of consumers like myself will even be happy to help a new business out. But if you start to do sketchy things, like offer warranty repair but then charge $400 shipping charges to get a defective part back to the factory, then hold it hostage with an unreasonable repair cost, the drone community will be picking up virtual pitchforks fairly fast. Impress us with what you do, not with what you say. So those are my honest thoughts, but of course I want to know what you think. Leave me your comments below, I really do appreciate it. And before you go, don't forget to let me know if you want me to do a more detailed tutorial, and maybe I'll do that if there's enough interest. So thank you for taking the time to be here. I appreciate you. And until next time, good flying.